Hi, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Lex Kane's TV Movie Reviews. This is another spoiler review for Doctor Who, and the episode was called The Story and the Engine. This is going to be a shorter review because I did not really like this episode at all. So the episode starts off in Lagos, Nigeria, in a barbershop, and the owner is telling a story, and we see a mysterious figure cutting his hair. We don't see his face in the first part of the episode, and he's telling about a story about how a mysterious blue box, the TARDIS, lands to save his village that is caught on fire. And then through this, he said every so often the Doctor comes to visit him, and he's like a family member of the family. And I thought, well, the Doctor is an alien. He doesn't need a human family. And then also the light goes red in the shop. They have a light that goes red, and they have another light that goes green. And he said, "Please, Doctor, we need your help. We need his help." And he says he should be coming very soon. And then it goes, and you see on the wall when they're telling the stories, it goes onto this like screen on the wall, and then you see the title sequence on the wall, which is a very unusual thing to do. And then we get into the episode, and the Doctor is wearing another costume. His hair's grown, and he says they land at Lagos, Nigeria. But Belinda keeps saying, "I want to go. I want to get home. I want to get home." But then she lets the Doctor have this time at Lagos, Nigeria. And before he gets out of the TARDIS, he says, he gets very preachy. He goes, I've not always been in this same face. I had another form which was in this ethnic background. I thought, hang on, what's going on here? And in the episode, I thought, this is not very good writing. This is very preachy stuff in Doctor Who. It felt to me more like The Outer Limits meet Twilight Zone. It was not Doctor Who. When we've lost the Doctor now, ever since the Jodie Whittaker era, Tennant coming back, and Gatwa, they've all been human doctors, not alien, more preachy, political, not given as entertainment, fantasy and adventure and sci-fi. Where the Doctor is an alien, he's a stranger, he may look human, but he's not human, and the companions straight away know he's alien the way he acts. But like, it was very human, this story. It felt like Tales of the Unexpected type thing. It wasn't a sci-fi series based on one character and his adventures through time and space. But it was very bad writing, and the main character was getting revenge on the gods for punishing him, and he had this creature, which was a spider creature, and which had the shop which go through time and space, and he wants to get to this certain place so he can become all powerful. Basically, the story was, and then they had this thing where, why are you going for the haircut, Doctor? When Melinda asks him where he's going, he says, I'm going to this barber shop and I have a friend there and they're like my family, adopted family. I thought, Doctor, you don't have an adopted family. You're an alien. You're not human. You have two hearts. You're an alien. You're not from this world. That's the story of Doctor Who. And it was really just wishy-washy. Everything was just not right in this episode. And the overnight ratings for this episode, and listen to me, people here, I'm not having to go at you. When those ratings come in, that's the final ratings for that night. Even if it goes a little bit up in the peak, the actual people sitting watching that show that night, that's the ratings you're getting. 1.59 million is not very good. Doctor Who used to get Eccleston's time, and when Tennant was the Doctor, he wasn't the Doctor when he came back. They used to get 9 to 10 million watching, which is very good. And when John Pertwee and Tom Baker were around, they were getting between 12 to 13 million watching them. And, Classic Who is still getting big numbers, not this version of Doctor Who. I think to myself now, it's entirely up to you if you like this. I don't like the show anymore. This is not Doctor Who, and we're not happy with this. The way they've done it, they've made it for a certain category, which doesn't work. You just want a sci-fi adventure. You don't want to be preached that political stuff. And sorry to say this, but when they do a period timeline in the UK, they're not researching what the culture was then. That's how you learn about history. You don't put A, B, C, and D in to make it your vision. Basically, with the Lux episode, they did not research. Because in Miami, it was a multicultural society in the 1950s. People could walk out in broad daylight in Miami. That's why it's more of a multicultural society there. So in that part of America, kids from all different backgrounds, ethnic backgrounds, walking outside together, playing together. People go to cinema. They didn't research the music of that era. They got music from 1953-54. It's supposed to be 1952. This is where Doctor Who, BBC is not researching. Doctor Who's not researching now. They're not researching the time period. When Doctor Who, Classic Who, fell into I remember an episode with Peter Davison, and they thought he was some kind of soothsayer type character, and he said, "Why are you dressing that attire?" And then within less than 5 minutes, he explained, and they're on the adventure, and you just got on with it. But with this new version of Doctor Who, they've got to explain in a big, huge statement what they're doing. Within less than 5 minutes, that bit is over and they're into the story in Classic Who. But New Who don't do that now. So I'm going to finish this quite early, this review, because I was very disappointed in this episode. Basically, the story is when these fellas are trapped, they're missing, but they can't leave, and even the TARDIS senses it. And what was missing in this episode, even though when the TARDIS was putting a red alert system up, the cloister bell wasn't on. That's part of Classic Who, Doctor Who. When the TARDIS is in danger, the cloister bell is hitting. The cloister bell was nowhere to be seen, not even noise, not even the cloister room where the cloister bell is. That's when the TARDIS begins to act strange. So for some reason, it just went on red alert with LED lights, and that was a big mistake in that episode. Also, in this episode, we get to see the futures of the Doctor, which I believe is not classed as one of the Doctors. That has just been weaved in, and they're saying it's in between the classic era and new era of Doctor Who, and basically it's just a filler to put into the story. Myself, the last New Who Doctor we had was Capaldi. That was it. It should have ended there. and being left on an open ending, and they're going to do a soft reboot of day one of Doctor Who. And quite frankly, I think we won't get a season 3 here, by the way. We won't get it. There's no Christmas special. So if they had the Christmas special, they'll be still on air. But with the current writing team they've got, it's not working. It's not working at all. You may disagree with me, but this is what I believe. I've watched it by the skin of my teeth watching it. And then what I thought was disappointing was when they got to the finale of the episode, going back a bit before I talk about the finale of this episode, finale bit in this episode, the Doctor recognises a woman, and he says, "I've seen you somewhere before," and it's linked to the future of the Doctor's past, and she's now working with this hairdressing guy, the barber. I just call him the barber because it's very hard to explain the name of this character. And basically they find the room where the engine is. The Doctor finds it, and the Doctor gives his stories, and he told Belinda's story, which we didn't need to know. But then the Doctor goes, "I'm going to give you all my stories of all my lives." I thought that really did not work, and what really was disappointing was they didn't put William Hartnell's voice on. They put Patrick Troughton's voice on, John Pertwee's, Tom Baker's, and so on. But yet, I thought, why are they putting Classic Who when they don't like Classic Who? Some of them don't like Classic Who. They like this Gatwa Who. And to me, Gatwa is still not the Doctor. He's wearing two costumes in this episode. He then gets his hair braided by the girl he knows, so he's got a map in his braided hair. Answer me that. I don't know why that was in it. So they find the story of this room, and then basically the Doctor gets out. To escape, he uses a sonic. The sonic has to be used every part of this episode, which was getting fed up. Really, I'm fed up with the sonic screwdriver now. Bring back the days where Peter Davison lost his sonic screwdriver, and he just got on with what he could do to fix the problem in the story that he was in. I think we're going to have to go back to serial drama, sci-fi, where you had one story split into 4 parts or 6 parts, and you had between 13 to 26 episodes a season, with 4 stories or 5, and you got to know the characters, you got to know the Doctor, but he's still mysterious. You got to know who the enemy is and who was your ally and who would turn against you. And that's what you needed. And the big reveal of the main villain, where the villain just builds up in character. That's where this Doctor Who has lost it. The villain turns good in the end. No one dies except for this spider creature. I felt I was a stranger watching this, because there was nothing for the UK society for this episode. Yes, we're a multicultural society in the UK, but we're still British. It wasn't it didn't feel, I felt like I was watching a different, entirely different show. And I did not like this episode at all. I'm giving it 1 out of 10 for just John Pertwee's face, and because John Pertwee's Classic Who Remastered is on You and Eden. I think it's on You and Eden channel, and apparently it's doing very well, and they're going to show his next 2 seasons, and I hope they continue right into Sylvester McCoy's era, because people have got now another option. If they don't like this new current Doctor, which is now, I think, is on the beginning of the end of its run, and basically, I'd watch, more people are watching Classic Who now. Even the episodes they thought they weren't that good, there's some story value entertainment in there. You're not getting it with this show. Next week's episode, it'll be a short review because I am not looking forward to this episode at all. The Interstellar Contest. Looking at the trailer, it looks awful to me. This next time episode. So for this episode again, Story and Engine 1 out of 10, just for Jon Pertwee's face and his famous iconic line that was in the episode. Subscribe to the channel. Take care. See you soon.